All right, welcome to another episode of Cocktail or Neat. My name is Tim,
And I'm Heather.
and tonight we're going to try Blanton's Single Barrel.
That's it? For the introduction? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to trying this. The Blantons makes me think of when we first started to like, or I should say get into bourbon, because we didn't like it at first. It
That is
took us a
correct.
little bit. But when we first were interested in it, so we're in Louisville, Kentucky, and we were living in the Highlands, and we were, a block away from a liquor store, and decided we want to get into bourbon. And I remember you going into the liquor store and just kind of looking around, deciding what to pick off the shelf. And there was this bottle of Blanton's. Actually, I think there were 4 or 5 on the shelf at that time. This was
Oh, yeah.
6 or 7 years ago. So just kind of casually picked one up. And not only that, but you decided you needed to impress your future father-in-law, my dad, and gave him this bottle of Blanton's.
Yep.
Thinking, hey, there's more where it came from. Of course, it took us several years to find another bottle of Blanton's. I think we had to go on a tour at Buffalo Trace to be at the gift shop at just the right time in order to get a bottle of Blanton's.
Yep, and we were there with your family on that one.
I know, they were scrounging them up.
Yeah,
We want them all.
Yeah, and so when we first got there, the first thing I knew to do was go check the gift shop, which is what we did, and they just happened to put out Blanton's, and so I got one, you got one, your dad got one, and walked out, put it in the car before we did the tour.
Yeah, we knew it was, valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, we'll see if this tastes like I remember the Blanton's. It's been a while since I've tasted Blanton's. Now, lately, you have been able to pick up a few bottles.
Yes, so I've gotten lucky. I went to Buffalo Trace again, and I got one there. I found one at Liquor Barn once, and then this guy, we got really lucky. So Heather is part of a Wine of the Month club at one of our favorite little local liquor stores, which is Westport Whiskey and Wine. And we just happened to be there, and they put out this bottle of Blanton's. So not only is this a Blanton's, and all Blanton's is a single barrel, it is the original single barrel, but this is also a store pick on top of that. So that's why it's got the nice sticker on it and everything like that. So it is a good special bottle.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even sure it actually made it to the shelf. I think you just took it out of the guy's hands and said, yes, I will take that, thank you.
No, I let him put it on the shelf, and then I asked if it was a store pick, and we opened it up and saw the sticker, and then it was, yep, I'm going to have to buy that one.
Yes. So I can tell, I might be wrong in saying this, because again, I am kind of a novice, but it tastes like a wheated, like that wheated bourbon taste. No?
No.
Oh, I'm wrong.
It's not wheated. It is a rye mash bill. So Buffalo Trace has 3 recipes. All their bourbons that they make come out of those 3 recipes.
Yeah.
So you got mash bill number 1, mash bill number 2, and then their wheated mash bill. Their wheated are the Wellers and the Pappies. This is not a wheated. Nope.
Oh. Well,
But
learn
yes.
something new.
So what you're picking up on is that your wheateds are much more mellow type of taste.
Yeah.
That's the lower proof. So this is 93
Oh.
proofed. So that's what you're getting is that much mellower feel to it.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say it's just really simple. It's not really complex. There's not a whole lot going on. It's still nice. I mean, smooth, probably because it's that lower proof again. It makes it a little easier to drink.
Yeah, it's got a lot of caramel on the nose, some vanilla, a little bit of oak.
Ooh, I'm getting more sweetness now. A couple sips in, I'm getting a little more vanilla, which is very pleasant.
Yeah, you got vanilla, caramel, and then on the end you get some of that pepper. It's not an overpowering finish by any means because of the lower proof. I mean, it's good. I've had better Blanton's single barrels, I think. And that's the thing with the single barrel is you're going to get some good ones. You're going to get some bad ones. The big one that people always like to rat on is Henry McKenna 10-year because it's about $30 and it's a single barrel out of Heaven Hill. And so that one, you can get some really good ones. You can get some really, really bad ones. Blanton's, you get some pretty good ones overall. I've never had the terrible Blantons, but I've had some okay Blantons.
Yeah. Well, I like it. I could see myself continuing to sip it like this. Can I be mixed? Can it be a Thai cocktail or neat?
I mean, yeah.
I guess I'm leaning probably a little more towards cocktail because again, it's not really complex. So, like, you could have a few more sips, but it'd be kind of boring. So
It does open up a little bit, change some flavors. It would be one that would be fun to come back and check maybe next week or the week after that and see if it's opened up any since we just opened it and poured it. But out of multiples, I would say this one isn't there yet. I think I've had better Blantons. But it is changing each sip.
yes, that is true.
There's more to it.
This could be really good in an old fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like just bringing out that sweetness and get that maraschino cherry on there, and it'd be really good.
Wonder how many people just cringe because you want to put Blanton's.
So sorry. I think it'd be amazing, right? High quality ingredients is gonna make a really excellent cocktail.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is, because it's got the horse on it and it's the grenade look, it is your signature. Like if you think bourbon, if you think Kentucky, most people are thinking this bottle right here, which is why it is very overhyped. It's a fun one. We do. I love to do it in blind tastings because when you blind this with other things, it always scores low. And people are like, oh, it's going to be the best. So
I can see that, though, after tasting this. I'm like, if you had this against other things, you wouldn't be able to pick it out really easily and be like, ooh, that's Blanton's. It's really special. Like, it's neat, but it's not, like, super special.
Oh, yeah. So I would say for you guys out there that are cringing right now because she's decided that this would be a good cocktail bourbon just because it's not there with the complexity or the flavors, I challenge you to get a group of friends and blind this with a couple other bourbons and make sure you've got a $30 bourbon in there. I'll give you one. Let me grab it here. Evan Williams single barrel. Blind those off and then put one or two other in there, and I bet you Blanton's is not going to finish top. That there's other things that you can get that are going to finish and for a substantially lower price.
Oh, there you have it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to say, though, this bottle is so fun. And, of course, the corks are really fun, too. So, it's fun to just always have a bottle of Blanton's.
Yes. It is definitely one to always have on the shelf. It is that bottle that'll impress your guests. I'm not gonna lie, like being from Kentucky, we're always on the look for it. And if you don't know, the horses represent the different stages of the Kentucky Derby. So there's little letters and you can collect them all. And if you collect all of them that spell out Blanton's, send it to the distillery. They'll actually put it on a stave for you and then mail it back. So that is definitely something that we're trying to do. But yeah, Blanton's will always be on the shelf. It is Kentucky. But you have to realize it is a $60 bourbon, and it's a $60 bourbon for a reason. It's not worth the $120, $130 on the secondary. So.
Well, here's my final recommendation.
All right.
You keep it on the shelf because people will be impressed to see it on the shelf. Like, make sure it's out and visible, and then mix it in a cocktail because then people will be impressed that you're using Blanton's in a cocktail. And the cocktail will be delicious because you're using Blanton's. So.
All right, there we go.
That's my final take.
I like it. So there you are. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, hit the bell, all that fun stuff. Tune in next week when we do another one, and there's going to be a surprise episode out later this week. We're going to give you a little bit of holiday advice for Thanksgiving coming up here. So tune in and see you next time.